Hello, my name is Wendy Latham, and my section is O32B. I'm talking today and giving an informative presentation or informative speech. This informative speech today is going to be on the Wounded Warrior Project. Have you ever thought about what happens to soldiers once they come back from war? Once they've been there and they've been injured and they've been in the hospital, now they're home with yet these still injuries. Some come home to families, some come home to parents, but a lot of them come home again to families with their wives and children. Sure, that is a very hard transition for them to be able to come home and be wounded and still want to be a part of the family and not feel left out. And in 2002, John Dela started a project. He himself had been wounded in war, and he realized how hard it was for soldiers to have some of the necessities that they need, especially on their return home or even before they got there. So they enacted another project along with the Wounded Warriors where they fill up backpacks and they give those backpacks to wounded warriors. In 2006, Mr. Miller moved to Jacksonville, Florida, and this helped him to be closer to a lot of the suppliers, and because Florida has such a big military base, he thought that he could be more help there. In 2008, the Wounded Warrior Project helped to pass and propose a bill that would give more treatment to traumatic officers, traumatic soldiers who had been hurt in the line of duty. And that was passed, and that law is the Traumatic Injury Protection Act, and it was signed into law in 2008. You know, I always wondered, again, what really happens, and it's very compassionate for someone to put together an organization that is a nonprofit organization that requires citizens to give into the project to help other people. I'm sure that other soldiers help, but his focus was to go out into the community and find people who wanted to help wounded soldiers. So there's so many different things that you can do. You can volunteer your time. You can go into a hospital where there's soldiers that are wounded. You can have baked good sales and do fundraisers. A lot of companies do a lot of different fundraisers. And they use the Wounded Warrior Act project in order to get it off the ground and in order to have a basis for what they want to do. So then they know who they're helping, who their things are going to go to, their time, if it's their money, if it's they've ran in a race or they've just volunteered anything. They want to see or want to be able to see how their money is spent and if it's being used for good. So I was bringing this to you because I really did want to inform the people who would listen to this what really happens to the ones who are wounded in war. And there could be many different kinds of wounds. There could be wounds from a mental wound, they could have a head trauma, but the bottom line is that they need help, and they need our help as citizens and as people who care. So that's something that is very close to me, thinking about how I can help somebody else, because all of us need help. So at my company, we have what is called the Wounded Warrior Project. And it's already a project, but we inculcated it into our project. And we're going to have, or they're going to have, a Wounded Warrior 5K run. So at my company, we have the poster. It talks about Wounded Warrior Board. There is the official sign-up sheet for the run, or you can walk. You don't have to run 5Ks, you can walk 5Ks. And then there's our sign-up sheet. So we have quite a few people from the company who have signed up in order to participate and give their time, services, and their money to wounded warriors. So in conclusion, as I was thinking about what I was going to do that could be informative, there was a lot of different things that I thought about. But I also thought about what could I do that would really help someone. And I know that by giving an informative speech, maybe someone will listen to this or read it, or read about it, and want to do more. You can always help Wounded Warriors. Has a website, and I'm going to give you that information. It's going to be Wounded Warrior Project at .org. So it's simple as that. I also wanted to add it in my conclusion that during the year of 2007, it brought out that 17,416,295 had been donated to the Wounded Warrior Project. So I say that that is very, very helpful. It helps other people. It shows our compassion. It gives us a chance to give back to the community, but also to give to the ones who give every day when they go to war and fight for the freedom of our country. Thank you. Please let it be.